So, welcome to Tuesday Night Yoga. As far as the yoga practice itself goes, we're going to keep similar format that we've done the last couple of weeks. Sort of a slow flow where we'll go through some flowy type movements. Yay, that sounds great, Nancy. Okay. And but it'll be move a little slower, and there'll be some really deep openings. And as much as I can throughout the practice, I'm going to weave in Matthew Sanford's teachings. I shared a little bit about MindBody Solutions yesterday, but the work they do is just super meaningful. Their founder, and he's also their lead yoga teacher, is a paraplegic. And the way that he can get me, an able-bodied person, into the depths of my body in a way that he can't really, or is not according to Western medicine, shouldn't be able to feel those things in his lower limbs. And so through his own unique lived experience, he lets all of that, right, guide his teachings. And it's just really profound. So as we go through the movement, we're going to focus on the central channel of our body, the spine. When we truly do that, right, our body almost gives this feeling of being electrified once that central channel is involved. So that's the idea. If you feel moved, right, please donate. I added a link again on the post I put just a little bit ago, or you can DM me and I can give you the link. All the money donated goes directly to MindBody Solutions and their adapted yoga program. Matthew Sanford does a lot of work bringing yoga to these populations of people that have had not only massive body traumas, right, paralysis, lack of use of limbs, but also people that have experienced trauma in general. When I first went to one of his classes, one of the first things he said, right, is that his trauma, he said, my trauma is not any different than your trauma. Just because of the way it impacted his body, sure, but the way we all experience trauma in our bodies is the same. Someone's isn't worse or better or less than anyone else's. Trauma is trauma, okay? So, thanks for listening. Let's meet on the mat. We're just gonna sit cross-legged. Okay, if you happen to have Spotify and you want to use my playlist, go ahead. I'm going to push start right now. Okay. And then let's find ourselves just in a cross-legged seat. So as you arrive on your yoga mat, right, let the sit bones really begin to settle. We'll let the hands rest on our thighs, palms down. And then let's gently close our eyes. As we close our eyes, begin to turn our senses more deeply inward. Let your awareness begin to kind of settle into the movement of breath. As we're transitioning onto our mats and into our body, right, let's just stay with our really natural breath print at the beginning. Noticing the way it moves in on your inhale, and the way it empties on your exhale. Our bodies have this really incredible innate wisdom, right, that they breathe for us all day long. It's so unique, it's unconscious, and yet as humans we have the ability to also consciously move our breath. Pranayama. This prana is everywhere. Not only is it the life force that we breathe, but it also can be found everywhere in empty space. It is sort of this idea of this prana is everything, and it's also nothing. So as we really transition here into our bodies, take a moment and begin to sense also the space around your body. If you're in a room, begin to sense the space, the open space around the room. It's what we call our proprioception. And now begin to feel your sit bones really rooted. And at the same time as we feel our sit bones really rooted down toward the earth, can you simultaneously feel a gentle lift up through the navel? Okay, and so another paradox here, our sit bones dropping down, our navel lifting up at the same time, feeling downward and upward. As you ground down through your sit bones, but gently lift up through the navel, can you feel this sort of spreading and broadening across the collarbones and the sternum? As you begin to feel this opening across the front of the chest, does your breath naturally deepen? Go ahead here and reground, a grounding sensation into your sit bones. And notice if you can feel it across your collarbones. Now we have sort of three dimensions, downward through the sit bones, upward through the navel, and broadening across the chest. And then stacked atop, like the cherry on top of all of this, the skull rests on top of the shoulders. Notice if you dip the chin just slightly toward the chest, and then allow your back, the back of the heart, to just gently shift back as if it could rest upon a wall that isn't really there. It's as if it's here resting back against empty space. And yet it's also being supported by this empty space. The other way that we're going to work with this idea of, right, everything and nothing at the same time is through our breath. As we weave in pranayama, inhale, feel that natural rhythm of breath, and then pause, and then exhale. And there's another brief pause. And so not really to emphasize, rather just to pay attention, the pauses between breath. Inhale, pulling in prana, right? Drawing in this idea of everything. And then amidst the everything, a pause of nothing. And we exhale, empty, release. And then again, the pause. Can we begin to now, with hands gently resting on the thighs, very gently open the elbows. So you could feel as if you had sort of two balloons floating right underneath your armpits. Really feeling buoyant in the shoulders and the collarbones. And then through all this space, right? Readjust, sort of take in again the way your body takes up space in the room you're in. Do you feel bigger in your body? More expansive? On your next inhale, draw it in. Feel the pause. Exhale, release it out. Feel this space. You have arrived. Welcome, everybody. Oh, blink open the eyes. Let's go ahead. Help our knees up. Stretch our feet forward. So let's go ahead here. Bring our feet all the way together. Let's get our pinto beans out of the way of our sit bones here so that our sit bones can really feel rooted. Okay? Notice, let's lift our shoulders up to the ears. Roll them down and around. If you could get palms down alongside the hips, feel free. Okay? And now let's keep building on these ideas, right? Our sit bones rooted down, feeling really anchored here. The belly button lightly pulling up. So simultaneously downward and upward, all at the root of our spine. Notice if you ground down more actively into the sit bones, can you feel a deeper broadening across the front of the chest? Good. Now from here, feel this expansiveness across the chest and feel your ankles push forward through your heels. Okay? So now really connecting the collarbones to the ankles. All the while, sit bones grounding down, navel pulling up. Right? In the midst of this central channel, right? This sort of electrical current, we begin to generate heat. Okay? Good. On your next inhale, reach your arms up overhead. You can gaze up if you want. Let's have the thumbs point back and gently draw the fingers together. Keep building on the spaciousness in the spine here, right? So connect here with your ankles. Keep your awareness in your ankles, your rooted sit bones, your belly button drawing up. Let's go ahead here. Turn your pinkies a little bit more inward, thumbs a little bit outward, and notice how it naturally sort of draws the shoulder blades down the back. Good. On your exhale, release the hands down. I'm just going to turn so you can see me here. Bend the knees, place the feet down. Hands come behind the back, fingers toward the body. Lift the collarbones here. Spread the sternum. Draw the navel tight. Good. Let's stretch our legs forward. Bend the right ankle or right knee. Put the ankle on the left knee. Just coming here into just a stretch for the outer hip. So you can choose how close your hips can get to that front heel. And then from here, inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze toward the top line in the wall in front of you, maybe the ceiling. Then as we exhale, round the chin to the chest, pull the belly button back. Could you reach your forehead toward your shin? And we're just going to gently flow here. Inhale. Spread the collarbones wide, lift the heart, lift the gaze while the sit bones are grounded. Exhale, chin to chest, round it back, draw the belly button back, forehead toward chin. Okay, 3 more of these. Inhale, open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale. As you inhale, lift the spine, release both legs forward. Come back here, this time onto the fingertips. Finding rootedness through the sit bones, lift through the navel, push forward through your heels. Inhale the arms up overhead. Slightly turn the pinkies and the thumbs out. 5 breaths. Inhale. Allow yourself to be supported, right, by the empty space around you. Exhale, release the hands down, bring them back behind the body, bend the knees, lift the heart. Find your foundation. This time, left ankle comes to right knee. Adjust your sit bones as close to that right heel as you can that's comfortable. Inhale here, lift the gaze, lift the heart. Ground down into the palms, ground down into the sit bones. As you exhale, round the chest, right, round the back, chin to chest, forehead to shin. Good, inhale, lift the gaze, lift the heart. Exhale, chin to chest, round it in, navel draws tight. 3 more. Good, inhale neutral, exhale release. Last time here, legs forward, get those pinto bean butts away. Hands can come by the hips, lift the shoulders up, down and around. If you like having the hands a little bit more back behind your body because it allows that natural curvature of the lumbar spine, right? That's really what we're working toward. When our whole spinal column is in alignment and turned on, the heat builds. Push forward through the heels. Simultaneously feel your ankles, feel your collarbones. Right? Feel down in the sit bones, up through the navel. Inhale, hands to the sky. Good, deepening here. Exhale, open that right arm back behind you, left arm forward. Taking this seated twist. My gaze followed my right hand. Now peer forward. What happened to that right foot? Square your feet. Square your ankles. Gaze back at that right thumb. Stay with this heat. We're building through our entire spine. Good, inhale up through center, gaze up. Exhale, open to the other side. Left hand back, right hand forward. Gaze follows the left thumb. And then turn forward, peer the feet. Look how they want to shift into the twist. Let them stay squared. Let your sit bones stay rooted. Then return the vision back toward that left thumb. Breathe into the tapas, right? The heat that we're creating, the heat that creates change and meaningful change. Inhale up. Exhale, gaze up. Stay here. Inhale again, reach up, lift up. On your next exhale, lower the hands back behind the body, fingers toward the butt if you can. Bend the knees, place the feet down. Inhale, rise up, reverse tabletop. Can you leave your chin tucked to your chest? Gaze at your navel. All right, and as I'm looking toward my navel here, I'm watching as my thighs lift up and I can no longer see my knees. Good, exhale, ease down. Cross the ankles, roll over the ankles to hands and knees. Meeting in our tabletop here. Bringing the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Curl the 10 toes under. All right, from our tabletop foundation, moving through a bit of cat-cow, right? Tail up, chin forward. Exhale, drop the crown of the head, drop the tail of the spine. Good, 4 more. Tail up, chin forward. Exhale, crown of the head down, tail down. Navel lifts up. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. last round here. Exhale to your cat. In your cat pose, pause here. Draw the chin to the sternum like it already is, and then begin to shift your hips back toward your heels. My toes are curled under here. Push down into the palms, and then inhale, rise up into our down dog. High on the balls of the feet. Okay? As we come onto the balls of the feet, spread from the big toe toward the pinky toe across the balls of the feet. And then let's exhale, melt both heels. Okay? Awakening our literal roots for those of us that are able-bodied enough to be able to have full use of our legs. Inhale, lift the heels up. Add a little bend to the knees. Keep the belly lifted back toward the thighs. Right? Straighten and then sink the heels. 2 more of these. Inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, bend the knees. Tilt the tail up, belly back toward thighs. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, melt the heels. And 1 more. Inhale, lift the heel. Exhale, bend the knees. Belly toward thighs, lift the tail up. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, melt the heels. Good. This time, gaze up at the space between the thumbs. Add a little bend to your knees. If you need, add a little bend to your elbows. Push down in the hands, re-straighten the arms. From here, gaze up at the hands again, if not already. Let the hands walk back to the feet. All the way to our forward fold. All right? As you come to your forward fold, allow the body to just drape here. Releasing down. The other thing we're weaving into this practice, I've had to do so much gardening here. I've had my hands just in the dirt. I've also been in a squat for a solid 2 hours today. So we're gonna really open up our whole lower legs, the 4 quadrants here. And so just starting in this first Uttanasana, shifting your weight from front to back over the balls of the feet until you feel your weight established, right, over the corners of the feet. Inner big toe, outer pinky, inner and outer heel. Lift and spread the toes. Imagine your 10 toes, 10 baby turtle heads that are going to stretch out of their shells. Say hi. Lift and spread, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then lightly place the toes on the mat, so lightly that you could barely leave a toe swirl print. Okay? Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Good, again, inhale, lift halfway. This time as you lift halfway, bring the weight onto the balls of the feet and see how that exchanges the experience here. The tail lifts up. There's a nice solid slope of the spine. Exhale, release down, walk forward to your down dog. Okay, good. Really settling a little more deeply into your down dog. Good, from here, step your feet as wide as the mat. So a wide-legged down dog. And then turn your heels slightly off. So your feet are like a little bit pigeon-toed here. Heels off the mat, balls of the feet on. Take an inhale breath, lift the heels, come onto the balls of the feet. Good, exhale to melt the heels. As the heels melt, feel this widening and broadening across the sacrum and the sit bones. 2 more, inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, melt the heels. As the heels melt, let them sink toward the earth off the mat. 1 more, inhale, heels high. Exhale, heels low. Gaze up at the hands, walk the hands back. All the way to the feet, leaving them wide-legged here. Heels off, toes on is what we're working toward. And then just allow yourself to release. Bring your hands to the outer shins if you could. And then bring the weight of your body onto the balls of the feet. So very little weight on the heels, almost like you could slide a piece of paper under the heels of the feet. Good, let's walk both our hands toward the right ankle. Trying to keep as best we can our sacrum aligned right in the middle. Nose toward shin. As we're on this right leg, weight from the ball through the pinky edge, or the big toe ball to the pinky toe ball, spread. Good, switch over to the left.
Weight in the ball of the foot, nose to shin. Sacrum stays centered as best as we can get it here. Stay with these slow, sort of stingy openings to the lower legs, the outer lower legs right now. Good. Come back through your center here, keeping your feet again at the angle they are. Inhale, lift halfway to your flat back. As you lift halfway, weight comes into the balls of the feet. Spine is super long. Exhale, bow and fold again, releasing. Okay. One more time, walk forward to your down dog, keeping the wide leg of the feet. Good. Now, through this deeper opening, inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, sink them low. Right? You can add a mini bend to the knees if you need. Really tilt the tail up. See how we're starting to slowly open into our down dog. Step the feet back together. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the knees to your tabletop. Walk the hands back, sit on the heels here. Curl all 10 toes under, even the pinky toes. Okay? Stretching into the fascia of the feet. Again, staying really connected to our roots here. Right? Even if your body isn't functioning optimally, if you are able-bodied, that is something super special, something to be super grateful for. Okay? Good. From here, can we lift the knees up? Keep the weight on the balls of the feet. Squeeze the thighs together. A little bouncy, bouncy on the feet. Okay? So good if you've been on your feet all day today. Release the knees back down. Hands down. Rise up to your down dog. Good. Let's go ahead. Inhale the right leg up. Pausing your three-legged dog here. Find this opening. Keep equal weight in both hands. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, float the right leg through. Nice and long. Go ahead, tap your left knee down, and then lift it up. Push back through your left heel. Reach your hands back in space. Crown forward. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, drop into these legs here. So really taking our focus and our attention into our back leg. Go ahead, lower all the way down, maybe until you just gently tap. Push down, you're really strong in these legs. Rise up. Now lock out that back leg as best you can. Squeeze out this quad. Okay. At the same time, push down to your right heel. Dropping in here. Exhale, lower the hands down. Plant that left hand. Inhale the right hand to the sky. Open your heart to your front thigh. Let your left eye see your right thumb. Exhale, lower. Plant both hands. Step back to a floating plank here, if you could. Good. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, melt the pelvis toward a floating up dog. Good. Inhale, squeeze the knee to the nose as we round back to that down dog. Inhale, lift up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, lower down. Establishing your foundation in the middle before we switch sides here. Inhale the left leg up. Equal weight in both of our hands. Go ahead, inhale, right heel up. Exhale, step it through that left foot. With your own time, tap the right knee. Lift it up. Push back through that heel. And then as we start to rise up, reach the hands back. Good. Inhale, rise up to your crescent lunge. Okay, and then let's drop into these legs. So go ahead, can we sink really deep? Tap that right knee down. Rise up. Push back through that heel and really fire up this right quad. Push down into the left heel. Notice how that fires up the left glute. As you exhale, plant both hands. Right hand stays. Inhale the left hand to the sky. Gaze up, follow. Can your right eye see your left thumb? Study your vision. Soften the gaze. Good, as we exhale, lower down. Plant that left hand. Step back to a floating plank here. Find your foundation, take an inhale, exhale, float, up dog. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, let's go up to our three-legged dog. Good, lower the feet side by side. Gaze up at the hands, let them walk back. Building arm strength as we make the journey back to our forward fold. This time in our forward fold, bring the big toes to touch. Leave the heels about an inch wide. Take your peace fingers and thumbs. Interlace your big toes. Let the big toes push down into the fingers. And then let's find some subtle nuances here again. Drop the weight of the head. Send your gaze back through your legs, like through your shins. Find a place to hold your vision on the wall behind you. Fan the four corners of the feet, inner big toe, outer pinky toe, the ball, and the inner and the outer in the heel. Take an in-breath. Let it travel up the spinal column. As you out-breath, bend your elbows wide toward the outer edges of the mat. Inhale again, pull breath into the back of the heart. Good, if you could, leave the hands as they are. Inhale, lift halfway to a flat back. And as you come toward your flat back, bring the weight into the balls of the feet. Good, exhale, release. From here, we're gonna spin our toes. I'll turn so you can see me here. We're gonna spin our toes out and bring our heels together. Sort of like a Charlie Chaplin feet. And so when you're in your forward fold here, you maybe need more V's, but as we come here, the tendency is gonna be for these knees to stay wide. We're gonna squeeze our calves together. Okay, and you'll do this from your fold. Good. So I'm going to squeeze my calves together here. Whoo. And then just sort of be with these sensations. Okay. Good. From here, let's walk both our hands. I'm going over to the right. And as I walk both my hands to the right, my hips will slightly shift to the left. Keep squeezing calves. Feel the lines that we are quite literally connected from our feet all the way up into the hips. Good, walk the hands all the way over to the left. Hips slightly move to the right. Good, coming back through center, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Drop the weight of the head. Good, let's go ahead, square our feet, bringing our toes so they point forward again. Okay, and then as our toes point forward, let's go ahead, walk ourselves back to our down dog. As we come to this down dog, notice how the legs have opened more deeply, right? Find some movement in the feet, the knees. And then let's go back to our right leg. Inhale, lift it up and back. Find your three-legged dog here. Pause. In your three-legged dog, melt your left heel down. Inhale, lift your left heel up. Exhale, squeeze, float it through. Stepping your right foot down. From here, gaze back at your left foot, drop the heel. We're coming toward warrior one. Let's go ahead, rise up. And then establish our foundation here. And so I want us to get wide in our warrior one. Bring your hands to your hips, drop into your front knee here. Okay? As we drop into our front knee, feel this sort of lunging forward toward the front of the mat, as if we could try to push a button with that right knee. And then simultaneously take your left hip, move a little bit toward the outer edge of the mat, and then forward. Okay? And hopefully here that really squares your hips. Now, as we talked before, grounding from the tail and the sit bones, lifting from the navel. Okay? Good. Inhale that left arm up. Reach it up. Exhale, bend the left elbow. Let the right hand find that left elbow. Open the tricep here, all the way through that left side body. And as we're taking this opening, keep pinning down the outer edge of the left heel. Notice the tendency, especially if you're really tight, in the back of that left ankle, Achilles tendon, calf. Pin the outer heel down. Okay? Good. And then let's release. Lift that left arm up. Bring it forward underneath the right. Into our eagle arms. If you can't get eagle arms, just wrap into a bear hug. Lift the elbows. If you can take this full eagle arms, lift the fingers up and slightly away. Hips stay square. Really opening, like let your awareness in this, as I have you a little pretzel, find the outer left heel. Take an inhale, reach up, rise up. As you exhale, humble yourself down, tapping the elbows to the front of the right knee. Bowing here. All the reasons that we think our bodies aren't whatever enough, let them bow down, pour it out. Good, inhale, root down, rise up. Let your fingers come all the way to the sky. Exhale, unravel. Reach them up, bring the palms together. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower the thumbs to the heart. Take an inhale. With me. Exhale, lower down. Lift that back heel. Find your foundation here so we can float our plank. Float it up. Okay, lower with control toward this kind of floating up dog. I'm bending my right knee too. And then squeeze knee to nose as we round. Up and back to our three-legged dog. Shake it out if you need. Release it down. Pedal out what you need. Before switching sides, inhale, lift the left leg up. Sink the right heel down. Inhale, right heel up. Exhale, left foot floats through. Gaze back at your right foot. Drop the heel down toward warrior one. So heel to heel alignment or feet on train tracks. And then let's rise up. And really get nice and long in our stance. So that as we drop into our front knee, right, we're going to lunge that knee forward like we're pushing a button. And then notice if your back arch is collapsing in, we need to activate and energize the right outer heel. All the while, hips stay squared. So my left knee's lunging forward. My right hip's going to move a little bit toward the outer right edge of the mat and slightly forward. Good. Inhale the right arm up. Bend the elbow. Let the left hand find the right elbow. Open up tricep through the side body. Good. Let's unravel. All right. Bring your right arm forward underneath the left. Wrap to your eagle arms or to a bear hug and lift the elbows. Wherever you are, we're going to lift these elbows. Keep grounding down the outer right heel. So much opening into the lower quadrants of the legs. The roots that nourish our physical bodies. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bow down. Humble yourself here to all the ways that we mistreat our body. Taking for granted, at times, all of us do, sort of the constant stability our body provides us if we're healthy and able-bodied. The way it can heal itself when it's injured.
inhale, rise up. Reach these fingertips up or elbows up. Exhale, unravel. Sweeping these hands up to the sky. Palms come together. Inhale, reach up. Rise up. Exhale, thumbs to the heart. Connecting our hands to this place inside of us, right, that's unchanging. In the midst of all this change, in the midst of all our growth, this place in our heart that remains unchanged. Exhale, lower down. Plant, lift that back heel. Find your foundation here so that we can float our plank. Take an in-breath. Exhale, melt toward a back bend. Inhale, squeeze, knee to nose, round up, lift up, and then up here, three-legged dog. Good. Exhale, lower. Little movement in your down dog as you need. Gaze up at the hands, let them walk back to the legs. Inner forward fold again. I think I'll spin again so you can see me here. Feet hips width apart. Maybe slightly wider than hips. And then in our forward fold, let's interlace our 10 fingers on the back of the neck. Let our elbows just hang here. Reconnect in this forward fold to the way our breath has sort of evolved with this practice. Can you settle your awareness so much into this flow of breath that you feel those spaces between the inhale and exhale and between the exhale and inhale? Gentle, subtle movements. Let's open our elbows wide here. Almost like our elbows are sort of wings to our head. And then let's spin our right elbow back to the space between our legs and our left elbow toward the front of the mat. And then we'll switch. Left elbow to the space between the shins, right elbow forward. Two more on each side. Good. As you finish your final one here, come through your center, spread the elbows wide. Push down into the heels of the feet. Find an inhale, lift halfway to a flat back. Letting your arms really be wings for you here, right? Wings that are spread wide, almost as if you were gliding through the air. Weight comes onto the balls of the feet, spread equal through the big toe to the pinky toe, and then imagine you can slide a piece of paper under the heels. As you exhale, ease out. Release. Heel toe, bring the feet together. As the feet come together here, lift the heels. As you lift the heels, bend the knees. Sit down onto these feet. Right, bring your hands to your thighs. Settling here again. Slowing the breath back down. Adding a little bit of a bouncy bounce to the weight of the feet. Okay. Now, challenge. We're going to imagine our space in the room, right, that's supporting us and filling us up is going to support us here as we rise up. So imagine that we're leaning up against this empty space that is here. It's hugging us. It is sharing its prana with us. Hands come together, thumbs at the heart. Push down into the feet, squeeze the legs together. We're going to rise all the way up. Staying on the balls of the feet as we come up. Lift up, keep these heels nice and high. Exhale, sink down. Shake out what you need. Okay? And then let's balance a little. So I'm going to leave my left foot down. I'm going to step my right foot across. Okay?
Adding a bend to my back knee, my knees pressed together here. So now to deepening the opening of the lower legs. Now moving into the tibialis anterior, come onto the top of the foot, let the toes point back behind, and then imagine like you're trying to slide your foot forward up the mat, but really it's just a deep opening to the top of the foot, and then the tibialis anterior muscles that run through the kind of the front of the shin. Okay, so you can stay here if you want, right? More than likely there's quite a bit of sensation in the feet. And then, so if that's too much, release. Come onto the toes the correct way, let it release. And then we'll move toward our full eagle pose. So I'm gonna bring my right arm on top, left arm on bottom, wrap here. You could stay with your bear hug arms. And you can keep your feet kickstand on the bottom like we just did, or you can take full eagle and wrap. Okay? Whichever variation, 5 breaths. As you sink into the knees, can you keep lifting the elbows? All the stuff that our yoga practice brings up, right? All the energies and tensions stored in our body. Use an exhale breath. Hinge at your waist. Pour it out. Let the elbows tap just in front of the right knee as we bow. Very humbly surrendering with gratitude. Letting go of all the silly ways our mind tricks us into believing we're not whatever enough. Inhale, root down, rise up. Lift these fingers up. Exhale, release. Probably need a full body shake out after that. And then we'll switch. Right hand leg's gonna stay grounded, right foot steps across. Add a bend to that right knee like my legs are sort of supported here, kissing each other. And then I'm gonna come onto my left toes. They point back behind me. My weight comes onto the top of my foot. It kind of looks something like this. As I imagine I'm sliding my foot up the mat. Letting go of all sorts of tension in the front of the foot. The tibialis anterior. Just a wash of blood flow. If you wanted to stay like this for our eagle, feel free. Otherwise, release. Come onto the ball of the foot and then find your wrap, okay? Or you can stay kickstanded. Right arm on bottom, left arm on top. Into our eagle. 5 breaths. Bending into the knees, yet also lifting the elbows. If you're still with me here, take an inhale, lift up. As you exhale, hinge at the waist and let yourself surrender. These bodies are so magical. The quite literal home of us. Good, inhale, rise up. Reach these fingers up, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, release. Shake it all out. Let's come back down onto our mat. Come onto the belly. Drop down here, bring the elbows forward. Okay, so then I'm going to bring my left arm at a diagonal across my mat. I'm going to peer over my right shoulder, bend my right knee, reach back. I'm going to come palm on top of my toes. I'm going to squeeze my toes right toward the ball of my foot. And then I'm going to let my elbow point to the sky. I'm going to square my shoulders forward again. Finding a deep opening through the quadrants. set. So as you have this opening, right, notice, can you reach back to the back of the mat with your right knee? Do you have the ability at all to hover the right thigh? And then let's come to the big toe edge of the foot. My thumb is around the ball of my foot. Now let my foot kick back. Square my shoulders forward still. Let the foot kick back. Release. Right arm at a diagonal. Gaze over the left shoulder, bend the left knee, bring palm on top of the toes, squeeze them toward the ball of the foot. A little easier after all the opening we've done. Elbow to the sky, heel to the outer sit bone. Square your shoulders forward. Reach back through the left knee. Could you at all hover the left thigh? And again, for you, this might be like, oh, maybe I could get a sheet of paper under there. It might not feel like a lot, but any little opening is exactly that. It's a little opening. Okay, adjust, bring the hand to the inner big toe, thumb across the bottom of the foot. Now let the foot do the work. Kick back into the hand. Square your shoulders forward. And then we'll release. Coming for the full thing. All right? So, you need a little bit of a seal or a sphinx pose here. Okay? Before bending both knees, pull the heels back toward the sit bones. Reach the hands back. This time we're going to wrap around the outer ankles. Flex the ankles. Keep your shoulders square. Let the legs do the work. Let them kick back. As you kick back, can you keep your thighs grounded here? As you keep your thighs grounded, breathe into the low ribs. Add a little loosey-goosey to the ankles. Now let the kick up happen more. Bring the weight toward the navel. Taking a full variation. Easing out. Releasing onto your belly. Our final shape today before Shavasana, we'll use our support. And so rolling up either your blanket or your towel so that we can begin to lie down. As we lie down, the bottom of our shoulder blades align with the towel. The arms come on top of the towel. The head comes down. Okay? And so we're gradually bringing ourselves toward corpse pose, toward our Shavasana. Only before we fully go there, we're going to let this space be created around our heart. And as you rest here, you go ahead, stay rested. Let me just talk you through this here. So allow yourself, right, simultaneously to feel the weight of your body dropping into the earth.
like this downward pull of gravity pulling you down to the earth. Okay? And yet, as that's happening, can you still stay really buoyant in the heart? Like, even though we're feeling melted and heavy to the earth, can you still feel as if your shoulder blades are just really lightly on the support? And now from this newfound body awareness, right, you having the ability to be in the same body you've been in all day, only now with a new perception, a new view of it, right? Being really big in your heart space. And then just, without opening the eyes, really feeling, right, the space around you in the room. Even this space that feels sort of like nothingness is full of prana. The empty space around us, it supports us. Okay. And then let's very gently, gradually, if you want to come off the support, roll to your side, slide the support out of the way, and come into a traditional Shavasana. Okay? If you'd like to spend the remainder of Shavasana supported by your towel, feel free, whatever your preference is here. I'll just let you get settled, whatever that might look like for you, so that we can deeply connect again. As you re-arrive in your body, gently close your eyes. So gently that your eyelashes are just really lightly intertwined. There's no tension in the outer corners of your eyes. And then, as Matthew Sanford says, feel the weight of your eyeballs drop down and behind your cheekbones. Almost like your eyeballs are now the turtle heads pulling themselves inward down into the shell of the cheekbones. Release any gripping in the back molars. The teeth create some separation. And then let the weight of the tongue drop into the bottom jaw, as if the tongue was in Shavasana as well. And then now settle your awareness for the remainder of Shavasana into the heart, into the center of the heart. At the level of the heart is where we truly tap into this idea of everything and nothing resides here. The part of us that it remains unchanging resides here. From this heart space, being super grateful, right, for the gift of our body, for the gift of being able-bodied, for the gift of all the ways that this flesh bag supports us. As you're ready, gradually deepen the breath. As you deepen the breath, allow the body to sort of come back to life, but no rush. Especially not if for you you're nearing the end of your day, just very slowly and gently. Easing over to your side body. Pause. Pushing yourself up to your seat. As you come to your seat, let's bring our hands to our knees. Let the palms flip up. Taking a final breath together as a community. Imagine that our two upturned hands are very gently just kind of holding the earth. All of its inhabitants. Inhale through the nose, expand the lungs. Feel the fullness. Notice all the sensations that accompany that inhale. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Releasing all that stagnation. Palms come together, thumbs to the heart. Namaste.